Joining me now is Democratic Senator Alex Padilla of California. Senator Padilla, welcome to Meet the Press.
Good morning, Kristen. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. Our thoughts are with all of you in California during this devastating time. We appreciate your perspective. This morning, I want to start by asking you about the LA City Fire Chief, who has said that the city has failed her, that the mayor's budget cuts have made it harder for the fire department to fight the fire. Do you believe that budget cuts have played a role in the challenges that firefighters have faced?
Look, on the one hand, yes. On the one hand, no. We can always use more resources. That's just, public safety in general. But because every city, every county has different capacity and capabilities, we have this federally led mutual aid system. When the governor in the previous segment talked about the number of personnel fighting these fires, it is buttressed by crews coming in from Central California, Northern California, Oregon, Washington, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah. I understand crews coming in from North and South Dakota are expected today. Idaho is helping out. So collectively, National Guard, firefighters, et cetera, we're putting as many resources on these fires as possible.
Senator, do you believe you have the resources that you need right now to fight these fires? Because firefighters are still in the thick of it, particularly with those winds expected to kick up, as you just heard the governor say.
Yeah, well, collectively, we're putting all the resources we can towards fighting these fires. And as not just the governor, others have reminded us, the biggest factor in the next 24, 48 hours, hopefully not longer than that, are the wind conditions. Now the whole world knows what we mean when we say red flag warnings. When it's dry, when it's warm and the winds kick up, regardless of the cause of a fire, it has the chance to spread much more quickly. And it's exactly what we've seen, both in the Eaton Canyon areas, Altadena, Pasadena, Sierra Madre, as well as the Palisades, of course, and the other fires that are also still burning within the region.
As Jacob was just discussing with the governor, there is a lot of frustration with state and local officials. Let me ask you bluntly, Senator, do you have faith in Governor Gavin Newsom? Do you have faith in Mayor Karen Bass?
Look, I do have faith in our leaders, and not just as individuals, but especially because we, after disaster after disaster after disaster, have gotten really good at working together. And it's not just the elected officials. Let me give even more credit to the first responders, to the emergency response personnel, police officers, firefighters. When you have federal agencies, state agencies, county and city agencies, all collaborating to work very effectively, very efficiently. That's how we're able to protect lives and save lives and protect properties and respond to, whether it's fires in this particular case, it could be atmospheric rivers and floods and other disasters we've had here in California. But most importantly, let me send a message to all the families out there, more than 100,000 families displaced, the families of those who have perished in these fires. Our hearts are with you. And the perspective of these families are what's driving the urgency of the efforts to put these fires out as quickly as possible and begin the planning process of providing the temporary assistance, shelter, and otherwise to impacted families, and the planning that we know is going to happen for the recovery and rebuilding of these neighborhoods. As I've had a chance to tour these communities, every house is a home. Every home is a family. We can and we will rebuild. Well,
to that point, President Biden has pledged that the federal government will pay for the efforts to rebuild 100% for the next 6 months. Are you confident that the incoming administration, the new Congress, will follow through on that pledge, Senator?
Yeah, look, first of all, God bless, and a big thank you to President Joe Biden. Consider this, Kristen. He wasn't in the Situation Room when this happened. He was in the situation. And his presence here in Los Angeles, I think, helped that major disaster declaration be approved in record time. And I pray and I hope that not just President Trump, but my colleagues in Congress continue to support these efforts. I've already been in touch not just with Democratic leadership, Senator Schumer, Senator Murray, who chairs the Appropriations Committee, but Senator Collins from Maine, who's the lead appropriator on the Republican side, Senator Cassidy from Louisiana, who's no stranger to disasters. Just as Californians have been there for other regions of the country in their times of crisis, it's time for the country to unite behind California, and that includes incoming President Trump. You know, at the end of the campaign, he talked about uniting the country. Here's his first opportunity, and he can begin by accepting the invitation to come and tour the impacted areas, just as he toured areas impacted by wildfires during his first term.
Let me ask you about something that happened this week in Washington, a crucial vote on the Lake and Riley Act. Let me just explain for our viewers what that is. It's a bill that would allow federal law enforcement to detain undocumented migrants who commit theft-related crimes. More of your fellow Democrats supported this bill this go around, this vote. Do you support, will you vote yes on the Lake and Riley Act?
Yeah, so my understanding is there was a procedural vote to allow the measure to come up in the Senate for purposes of allowing a debate, allowing us to offer amendments. The bill currently as written is, first of all, it's not immigration policy. Second of all, it is already in law that those who commit violent crimes can and should be detained and are in that deportation
So
process.
are you a yes or a no, Senator?
Senator,
Senator, just to be clear, I just want to understand what you're saying. Are you a yes or a no?
As currently written, I'm a no because it opens the doors for people simply being charged without a conviction to be detained and deported. That includes minors, that includes dreamers, that's shoplifting a pack of bubble gum. There has to be a more of a focus on a piece of legislation like this.
Senator Padilla, our thoughts are with everyone who is suffering right now in California. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And when we come